Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling Channel. I am your host, Seth. Today, I'm going to give you guys my AEW Forbidden Door 2025 predictions. So let's hop right into the video. Play the intro. First up, we have Zack Sabre Jr. defending his IWGP World Heavyweight title against Nigel McGuinness. This, in my opinion, is a dream match that people have been waiting for. And all in 2024, the Casino Gauntlet, they stared down and had a nice little technical affair. But now we finally get the one-on-one match that we've all been waiting for the IWGP Championship in Nigel McGuinness's. And I'm pretty sure Zack Sabre Jr. in their country and their hometown, like their country in London, for both of them, kind of the hometown boys, so it's kind of perfect. This is going to be a very, very awesome technical affair. Possibly match of the year here, and possibly match of the night for sure. We're probably going to see technical wrestling we've never seen before. And Daniel Garcia is supposed to be in Nigel McGuinness's corner, which is going to be an interesting factor. But in the end, I'm going to take Zack Sabre Jr. to retain the IWGP World Heavyweight title in a technical masterpiece that sees Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Nigel McGuinness. Next up, we have Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi for the TNT Championship. This match came about after on Dynamite, Takahashi was the last man into the 8-man tag, the Mystery Man from New Japan, and he ended up getting the win over pinning Josh Alexander for his team, which is now set up as Kyle Fletcher called out to New Japan to bring one of your best stars and he'll defend his title. And now we're going to get this match. This is awesome in my opinion. These, in my opinion, are two future guys in their companies that are going to be the future faces and our future world champions. And this is going to be a good showcase for both of them, and they're going to do great here. But in the end, I'm going to take Kyle Fletcher to retain the TNT Championship, probably with the help of Don Callis. But I think Takahashi will do everything he has, but I think Kyle Fletcher is just going to be too dominant and will walk out TNT champ. Next up, we have the four-way for the TBS title as Mercedes Moné defends her title against Alex Windsor Persephone, I think. I don't know her name from CMLL, mind my bad attempt at her name, and still one woman from Stardom in a fatal four-way match. This will be an interesting match. Alex Windsor and Mercedes have been feuding on AEW, and the two extra women from CMLL and Stardom will add a nice little wild card factor in there. It'll probably be chaotic and interesting to see what moves they're hitting and how the match will end up going. Will probably be close for everyone, but in the end, I'm going to take Mercedes Moné to retain her title. She just lost to Toni Storm, and I don't see her going on a downhill momentum as now she's 8 belts Moné, and I think she'll retain the title in a great showcase for all the women, but Mercedes Moné to walk out with the title. Next up, we have the Hurt Syndicate defending their tag titles against FTR or Brodito, and it's not confirmed yet, but personally for me, I think FTR is going to get the win in that match. So the Hurt Syndicate versus FTR it is. And this will be interesting as they had some neat stare downs at All in Texas when FTR was on commentary for their tag title three-way. And this will be interesting to see with Stokely and MVP probably both at ringside to add factors. I don't think they'll really mess up anything, and I think it'll kind of come down to just the tag team wrestling. And FTR is great at the tag team wrestling part, but the Hurt Syndicate are very dominant in their own right. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. But personally, I think we could see Cope get involved, but he also has his own things to handle that night. But I'm going to take the Hurt Syndicate to retain. I think we still need to find the best team to get it off. Possibly it's FTR. We'll just have to see what happens. But I'm going to take Hurt Syndicate to retain. Speaking of the Radar Superstar Cope, we have Cope teaming up with his old buddy Christian Cage to take on Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. This as a personal match for Christian Cage as he brought all of these men in into the patriarchy and they turned on him at All In. Cope was out there to save him, and now they're teaming up together to take on part of their problem, because they both kind of have a problem with FTR and Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. They're taking on part of the problem here in this tag team match. This will be interesting to see what happens as we're finally going to get to see Christian and Cope back together after years apart. They're a lot older now, but we'll also see but I bet they can still go well. And we'll have to see how Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian do. It'll probably be a part of a brawl, too, as there's a lot of personal animosity there, and this will definitely boil over, be a great match. But in the end, I'm going to take Christian Cage and Cope to get the win here, and Christian Cage to get his get back. I don't think this is the end of the rivalry, but I think it's a good way to kind of kickstart it for him getting his get back after All In. So Christian Cage and Cope to get the win. Next up, we have Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Unified Championship. I'm pretty sure Don Callis can't get involved, and neither can Prince Nana because it's under Continental rules, so 20-minute time limit, and no one can be at ringside. So this will be interesting to see what happens. We'll get more of a pure wrestling technical match, just them one-on-one. It's kind of gotten some bad blood over the last couple weeks from attacks and just the personal stare-downs and the call-out from Okada and just the promos, and everything's kind of built up to this. And this will be interesting to see what happens. It will definitely not be as technical as we think it will be, because I think, like I said, the animosity's built up to where it will be more of a brawl. And in the end, I still feel like Don Callis is going to find a way to get out there. Maybe if the ref's down or not looking and Don Callis can find a way to cheat, I think Okada is still going to retain. He just got the unified title. I don't feel like it's right to immediately take it off him. So I'm going to take Okada to retain the unified title. Next up, we have the Lights Out Steel Cage matches. We have the team of the Death Riders, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Gabe Kidd teaming up with the Young Bucks to take on the team of Darby Allin, Will Ospreay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi in a Lights Out 10-man steel cage match. This is going to be brutal, bloody, awesome, and it's going to definitely, it might be a match that steals the show. Trapped inside that little cage, we're going to see so much action, in my opinion. Probably even get out of the cage and go all across the arena. And they are going to tear each other apart with weapons, and it'll be very violent, very chaotic, super crazy, and it'll be good for Will Ospreay to get back in his hometown. We don't know if he's 100% or not, but it'll be cool to finally see guys like Darby get his hands on them in a match and just see everyone kind of turn it into one big brawl. And in the end, I think Will Ospreay and Darby Allin's team is going to get the win here. Will Ospreay being in his home country, and after the Death Riders stomped all of them out, I think they're all finally going to start to tear down the Death Riders and get their get-backs here. So Will Ospreay and Darby Allin's team to get the win here in the Lights Out cage match. Next up, we have Timeless Toni Storm defending her AEW Women's World Championship against the woman who cashed in her Casino Gauntlet match victory for Forbidden Door and Athena. This has really built up over the last couple weeks, and it's finally going to come to a head here. And this will be an interesting match in the sense of it'll probably be very good. These are two great wrestlers who can put on great wrestling matches. And Athena being the Ring of Honor Women's World Champ will be interesting because, like, this has kind of been a match I think a lot of people have been waiting for, and Athena's finally getting that kind of big stage to show herself off. And it'll be interesting here. It seems like with the cash-in, people think that Athena would win it here. And I kind of want to believe that. Like, I feel like it makes sense to, but I still feel like I'm going to take Toni Storm here. I don't know what it is. Something doesn't feel right about Toni Storm losing here. Especially when it's kind of not in her native land, and she's from more of Australia, but it still just doesn't seem completely right. But it could also happen because she is cashing in the thing she won at All In. So it seems like if they're doing it kind of early, it seems like it could happen. But I'm still going to take Toni Storm to get the win here. And I'm pretty sure what might be the main event, if it's not probably the Lights Out cage match, in Hangman Adam Page versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. This is going to be an awesome match. It's gone very personal over the last couple weeks, and they are going to tear the house down in the sense, in my opinion, of MJF trying to goat Hangman Page into giving him the match with Forbidden Door, but Hangman won't do it unless he executes the contracts or earn it. And this past week on Dynamite, MJF executed his contract for Forbidden Door, and he had him with a backstage attack at the end of the show. So now Hangman is really mad at him, and they're both at each other's throats, and this will be very violent, as we've seen many brawls spark between them, and this will be very good to see what happens. But in the end, I'm going to take Hangman Page to retain the title. He just won the title, and I don't feel like he's going to lose it that quickly. But it's interesting to see whether having them both cash in their contracts for a match on the same show. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But either way, I think Hangman Page is going to get the win here. This will be very brutal in my opinion, and very chaotic, as the animosity there is going to make this match awesome in my opinion. But Hangman Page will walk out as the champ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and turn on that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.